So yeah, we did have this rising channel. I'm not sure people are looking at it. Yeah, and I'd be looking towards this, around 35,000 if we do break down.
Hey guys, Krisha here. Please be cautious of any fake comments and emails you may receive from people pretending to be Mango Research. Sean and I will never, ever contact you for investment opportunities or anything of that sort. To get in touch with the real Mango team, make sure to join our official Discord chat using the link in the description below. Stay safe out there, and remember, do it Mango. And what's up, you guys? Welcome to the Mango Grove. My name is Krisha, and this is today's Bitcoin and Matic analysis video. I have Sean with me today. Sean, say hi.
Good morning, everyone.
And a happy Toonie Tuesday. Tuesdays are always for discounts, right? Tuesday. I used to get a KFC box for a toonie, so that was really nice. Of course, this was when I was much younger, and KFC was a lot more appetizing. But guys, on today's agenda, we will not be talking about fried chicken. We will be talking about Bitcoin, and of course, we will be talking about the altcoin of the day, which is Matic. Why? Because Matic won the popular vote. Now remember, if you want us to cover any of the altcoins that you are looking at, take this opportunity to get down to the comments section and tell us which altcoin you want us to cover for tomorrow. And of course, the popular vote wins. And also, I want to give a big shout out to Claudia, a seedling appreciation shout out. She says, thanks so much, guys. These videos are so essential for my learning. I really couldn't do without them. I listen every day. Before I started my seed modules, and when I still hadn't completed many modules, I would listen even though I could only understand a small amount of what was being said. However, I knew that immersing myself in the language and the mentality of trading would help me pick up ideas quicker and also start me getting into a good Mango habits.
That is so true. That sentence out there, just keeping yourself around the people who are using the language, using the mentality, right?
Yeah.
You automatically absorb it. The human mind is so freaking fascinating that way. You just got to be around people who have the good habits that you want to absorb, or have the skills that you want to absorb. Skills too, guys. You can literally just absorb the vocabulary and the skill set by being around people. I know it sounds far-fetched, but
no, not at all, actually. Your company matters, right? Your company always matters, and that's how you sort of absorb knowledge. Now, she says, now I'm 75% through the modules, and I understand most of what is being said. Yay. However, these videos really are so important in bridging the gap between concepts I understand theoretically and the application of these ideas. Yeah. Right? So so watch these videos, at least, you know, that vocabulary really gets set in, because I know that's how I started with you, right? So yeah, these things are very, very important. So thank you so much, Claudia, for sharing that with us.
It's one of the key advantages we have in our generation, is that we get to put ourselves around the company we choose to have, right? We don't need to move to another country, another city, another state. This is the biggest advantage. These online communities that we can pick and choose. We can say, hey, I want to be around this company because I want their values to be in my life as well, as opposed to society, or rather just a chance of luck as to where you're born, your city, your culture, your family too, right? That's all chance of luck, but when it comes to the internet, you get to choose.
Exactly, and there are some really bright minds out there that you can surround yourself, you know, with amongst. So, okay, with that said, Sean, are you ready to get on over to the charts?
Let's do it.
Cool beans. Now, we're going to try and keep this one as straightforward as possible. I know I am particularly tired. I deadlifted yesterday, and I hit PR, and I just want to sleep. I'm not kidding. But we will not compromise on the TA, of course. Never compromise on your TA, guys. All right, so Bitcoin on the daily time frame. What I noticed here, Sean, is that we lost that daily cloud. Now, remember, if I just go ahead and put on my horizontals once again, you'll notice that this is something that I brought up yesterday, right? The fact that there was so much confluence on that daily cloud support. So that essentially came in at 39,300. So there are a few things that I'm seeing right off the bat. we lost the cloud level, we lost that horizontal that I'd extrapolated from historic price action. That's where I'm getting that red line from, right? Which came in at around 39,300. And also we're currently hovering underneath that 10 SMA. A lot sort of lined up in that region. But also in addition to losing that, we have now, Sean, negated that pattern. Remember, I had brought up a W-like formation. It's a lot more clear when you see it on the higher time frames. You'll see volume also there to support that pattern. You'll notice that we broke down underneath that pattern, essentially negating the W-like formation. So what I'm saying here is that W is no longer at play. Okay. I'll tell you what I'm expecting from this chart. So clearly we have lost a level. I am looking for Bitcoin to now set in a higher low on the daily time frame. Now this is something that we had mentioned yesterday, in that Bitcoin has a lot of buffer room to play with, because this was 10 consecutive candles of just green candles, right? Bullish green candles. We never really put in a low. Right? The first low that came in was only here. This was the low, guys.
It was one impulsive move and then nothing after that.
Exactly. All right. So for Bitcoin to really lose this uptrend, it really needs to get down here. And can it do that? Of course, it's Bitcoin after all. But I'll be looking for that next higher low to be set in. My eyes, Sean, are currently on the 21 EMA going down to the Tenkin. I'm saying I'm giving more credence to the Tenkin. And why the Tenkin? Because the Tenkin was also the break-up point. Right, so remember we had taken out this horizontal right here. If I just clear out my chart, and I'm just going to draw that line in very neatly. There you go. So that's the white line that I'm looking at, which came in at around $36,000. What are your thoughts on the daily, Sean?
So if you remember from yesterday's video, Krisha, we were talking about pretty much this very same level over here around the 37,000 to 36,000 region. And the reason I was hell-bent on that region was because, well, one, the Tenkin and the 21 EMA from the daily time frame was coming in around at that region. But more importantly, we are setting our bias for this month on the monthly time frame. And a particular region that I was really interested in was essentially this monthly open of the month of June, right? And I was like, all right, cool. So now we've got the great monthly close that we were looking for, or rather we would hope for, right? Great monthly close, that sets a bullish bias, but I'm not going to get too gung-ho just yet. I'm not going to jump into any breakout trades and look for the big move, right? I've done that in the past and I've paid the price. I've learned from those mistakes and I've learned to, hey, be patient. What's the bigger picture going on over here? What could give you the better trade? Now, again, this is a very important idea, guys. You either have to choose between getting into the trend trade immediately and saying, hey, if the price does pull back, it's all right. I'm going to sit through it. Or you say, you know what, no, I don't want to sit through a pullback because this pullback could be way deeper, or this pullback is not worth sitting through, right? And you wait for the pullback and then try for the higher low, right? Either or, you have to make the analysis and the decision yourself. I chose the latter this time around. It's really important, guys. Go ahead and watch yesterday's video. It's a bit longer. But it is educational. You're seeing it play out today. We lost that daily level yesterday, essentially, on that neckline, on that Ichimoku. We tested the top of the cloud, tested the neckline, and now we're seeing continuation towards the downside. We even taken out the low of the previous day. I was gunning for this region over here around the Tenkin and the Kijun, but I wouldn't be too surprised if we do get a bounce off the 21 EMA as well. Remember what my plan was. Literally slow bullish accumulation, right? Not a aggressive bullish trend play. It's a big difference. So I'll essentially be slowly accumulating a position, fully knowing that, hey, we may dip a little bit lower, fully accepting that we may actually come down, Krisha, to this green zone over here. I wouldn't be too surprised if we dip between the Kijun and the green zone somewhere around here, put in a higher low on one of the higher time frames. Because remember, even on the 4-day, I was not too convinced that, hey, we may actually test the 4-day 21 EMA and bounce over here, or perhaps the Tenkin, because the Tenkin is still aggressively sloping down, right? We haven't started its slope towards the upside. And where's the Tenkin coming in at right now? 37,500. Where's that monthly open coming in at? Let's go ahead and look. 37,500. So we're seeing a lot of confluence now on the 4-day and the monthly time frames as well. So that 37,500 region is going to be that zone where I'm looking to be hunting for a higher low. And hey, I could be wrong on this one. And the big sign for being wrong on this one is losing that green zone again. Again, that green box is going to be very important.
Yeah, the green box I feel like is going to be the dictating factor. And I'll say this: if we start closing like consecutive weekly candles underneath that monthly open, the one that you're looking at, consecutive weekly candles underneath the monthly open is going to sort of I don't know. I wouldn't feel comfortable being bullish. If that signature gets set in.
We have to flip again.
Okay, we'll have to flip again. And that's completely fine. Yeah. Don't ever feel bad about flipping. Your job right now is to be on the right side of the market. Okay?
You could literally be wrong, right? 75% of the time. And if your account balance on your trading account is going up, well, that's all that matters. And in fact, you're more right in that situation, regardless of whether your forecasts are wrong or not, right? You're supposed to trade in the right direction and just have a thesis on whether or not we're going that direction. If you don't, well, you flip to the other side and you'll still make money.
Right. I also want to go back on over to the 4-day very, very quickly. There was something that I noticed there. I just wanted to see this. Okay, and I want to see where the top of the cloud comes in at. Because that
too, man.
Sean takes his opportunity to wish me top of the cloud to you too, ma'am, every time he gets that. Okay, so top of the cloud comes in at around 40,400. So let's just round up to 40,900. So far, Sean, we're losing this. We close this candle, well, day after tomorrow, right? So it'll be an interesting next 2 days to see where this candle closes. And why am I so keen on watching this close? It's because of how well Bitcoin has performed relative to the 4-hour cloud levels. Okay, yes, we did see a fake out here, but as soon as we broke back into the cloud, that was the first tip on an edge to edge. And so far, that edge to edge, those edge to edge plays have had a pretty significant, like a pretty good success rate.
Yep.
Right, so this could be a tip-off on another potential play. Remember, right now, Mango is only playing the ranges. We're only interested in the ranges. We only start tilting bullish in terms of trend plays once Bitcoin gets over the breakdown point. Do not forget that. That is something I'm going to keep mentioning. Okay, breakdown point, which comes in at around 47.5K, going all the way up to around that $48,000 region. Okay, that's the region of resistance we're looking for Bitcoin to take out for us to really start looking, for trend trades to the upside. So yeah, I mean, these are the most immediate sort of levels, and we're trying to keep it as simple as possible. I suggest that everyone else out there also keep it as simple as possible. That's it's just you're just gonna get better trades.
The thing is, on the higher time frames at the moment, we do just have the impulsive move, and we're now going into consolidation on the higher time frames. A lot of the immediate price action is going to be dictated by the lower time frames at the moment, and we can see that we had this rising channel. I did post a chart of this on the Grove on the Discord, so if you guys are not in the Discord yet, go ahead and join. You can find us at themangoway.com/discord. So yeah, join while you can. The channel is not always going to be open. So yeah, we did have this rising channel. I'm not sure people are looking at it. Another way to look at this, by the way, is a potential. I think I'd prefer this method as actually. Would you look at this as a top-like formation on the lower time frame to show with a neckline somewhere?
Let's put on the volume and see where that takes us to.
Hold up. Let me just adjust this a bit.
More
yeah, so
this is more of a rising broadening wedge than it is a it's more of a rising broadening wedge.
I do like this for distribution, though. I do like this for distribution formation, and in that case, either way, the neckline would be somewhere around this region over here. And oopsies, need to do. Yeah, and I'd be looking towards this, around 35,000. If we do break down, this could be aggressive. Guys, if you do remember, a couple of days ago, we talked about how this candle over here, right, is going to be really, really important, right? And losing that low is likely going to cause a cascade of moves towards the downside. I wouldn't be too surprised that as soon as we lose this low, we come and test this wick high right over here. right? So somewhere around 36,600-ish. So this low over here could cause that move to this move over here.
There's a lot of confluence in that region, and it's not just the breakdown of the breakup point. Apologies, the one at 36K, even on the wick high that Sean just mentioned. Because right now we're on the daily time frame. Let's quickly get on over to the 12-hour. I'm gonna knock off these lines. Alrighty, let's go ahead and put on that Ichimoku cloud. You'll notice that this 36K region, along with being the breakup point, it is also lining up with the Kijun there. You probably cannot see it. It's because the line is covering the Kijun. But notice here, the Kijun comes in, guys, at around that $36,000 region. Okay, lines back on. So this is the 12-hour time frame where we'll see a proper C-span trade between the Tenkin and the Kijun. Every time we mention the term C-span, we're talking about a trade from the Tenkin going all the way to the Kijun and vice versa. So this is the 12-hour. How about the daily? Okay, daily, we have daily Tenkin coming in at $36,000 region. Okay, how about the 2-day? 2-day, we have the 2-day Tenkin coming at 36K.
2-day 21 EMA as well.
Right, exactly. So we have that that zone of, and that would probably mark the wick high. There you go. Right. How about the 3-day? So 3-day also, we have bottom of the cloud right there, and the Tenkin sitting right underneath it. Right. So there's a lot of confluence in that $36,000 region. Okay, so that's I think that's going to be the buy that I gun for. But it's not necessary that we, of course, get all the way down there. I feel like there's so much confluence on there
that 12 hours making me wonder, Krisha, does it step in? Does it step in and turn
this picture around? You know. Yeah.
So again, like we're sitting at a juncture right now where if we lose the 12-hour 21 EMA and the 12-hour Tenkin, it's going to line up with the daily losing this low right over here, and the daily testing its it's daily 21 EMA and daily Tenkin. So does the 12-hour step in and take this for another leg towards the upside, or do we lose this critical region over here? We could look at the oscillators really quickly, and is that telling us much? We do have a potential for bullish divergence actually between this region and this region over here. You can see that oscillators are coming down really low, putting in lower lows, and price hasn't done it just yet. So this is going to trigger two things at the same time now. Confluence is what we're seeing over here. If we essentially take out these lows over here, that idea of that 12-hour bullish divergence is completely negated, and anyone playing the divergence trade is going to be getting out of their trades. So if they're longing based on that bullish divergence, they're going to be saying, oops, we are negated, we're invalidated, we're getting out of those trades, and those buys are going to turn into sells, further causing a cascade of sells towards the downside over there. So that's something else that you could look for now. If that 12-hour divergence plays out though, right, those guys are going to be staying in their trades, and those other traders who are looking for the continuation are going to be entering the trade based on confirmation of this high over here at around 40,000 being taken out again, and then I'll be looking for a test of 42,000 again. So I think the 12-hour time frame, guys, is going to be the time frame to be keeping your eye on.
Yeah, I agree there, because in my preliminary analysis from today, I just sort of pulled up the chart. I'm like, okay, you know what? My first thing was price either bounces here or we come down further to around that $36,000 region. That was like my first hint from the chart. So yeah, just keep it simple for yourself. These are the levels that we are looking at. Watch out for how price reacts off of the 12-hour 21 EMA, as well as this wick low right here. Guys, this wick low, let me tell you something, that comes in at around 38,331. We start wicking. Even if we wick down underneath that, we have lost that structure then, okay? At which point I will be looking for continuation to the downside. So next region I personally am looking at is $36,000. Sean, of course, is gunning for that monthly open, right, Sean? Which comes in at around 37.3K.
We could totally wick underneath and test the 36,000 too, though, right? So
yeah. So I'm saying I really like the 36K dollar region. So eyes on that. That is your immediate sort of targets to the downside. All right. However, if price starts getting picked up along this region, so essentially the region that we're currently testing, let's get on over to the 12-hour for that. We start getting defended on this 12-hour 21 EMA. I'm saying that we're likely going to get back up to 39.3K. Breaking, even if we see 12-hour candle body closes over 39.3K, I will be expecting another push all the way up to that $40,000 region, 40.6K region. Okay, essentially the zone of price action that we have been oscillating in now for some time. So these are the most immediate targets well, to the upside. And you have our most immediate ones to the downside, currently on support, downside target at around $37,000, going all the way down to $36,000. Mango right now is only playing the ranges, so just a quick heads up on that. We're only looking for the range plays. We only start looking for trend trades to the upside once we get past the breakdown point, which comes in at around $48,500. Okay, and we flip bearish, of course, once we lose this green box territory. Okay, so yeah, these are our levels on Bitcoin. Sean, is there anything else that you want to add to this analysis before we get on over to Matic?
No, I think we covered it all. There are a few other concepts I do want to cover in tomorrow's video because we'll need a little bit more time. So yeah, for today, I think we covered it all.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So this is what Bitcoin is up to. With this, guys, let's get on over to Matic. Now, remember, if you want us to cover any of the altcoins that you are looking at, take this time to get down to the comments section and tell us which altcoin you want us to cover. Alrighty, the popular vote, of course, wins. And if you're enjoying this information so far, do hit that like button because it helps Mango out a lot. So Matic USDT on the weekly time frame. Wow. Clearly, we love this chart so much. Just look at the amount of lines we have on here. My goodness. Okay, so but, Matic...
that's a clean weekly. Also, we did have a bit of a trap over there. Seems like it at the very least. We did cover this recently, did we not?
See, this is where you need horizontals and you need your EMAs, right? Because now this is something that I usually do. Sean, I'm not sure if you I don't think you do the same thing. You kind of give precedence to candle body closes, right? I like looking at the wicks, and I would mark a region of support over there, because notice how as soon as price got up over that region at 76 cents, we made our way to the upside, going in at around $1.71, right? This is, of course, on the weekly time frame. Once again, notice how we broke down below $1.71. We made our way all the way down to 76 cents once again and bounced right off of it. So far, I mean... So
I want to interject a little bit over there. Now, in general, I'm going to be using candle bodies as my base case, right? As what I'll be looking for. But it's not like a hard and fast rule that 100% of the time, no matter what, I'll always be using the candle body. Using the candle body closes is a good way to start, and then you have to kind of look for what the price action is telling you. So, for example, in this situation over here, I'll be looking at these highs over here, the wick highs, as being more important as these candle body closes. Now, I'm not saying that these candle body closes aren't important. In fact, I'll go ahead and put a horizontal right over here as well, and I'll go as far as to say that these guys over here are not important. These candle closes are not as important as these guys over here, but in conjunction with this high over here being the most important. And why? It's because of how price reacted through a psychological perspective of those levels, right? So essentially, what this candle showed us is that even though we retook that level, right, price came and dumped right back down. So even though we had market acceptance, and if you do remember, Krisha, this candle over here, I wasn't convinced back then, right?
Yes,
this was that candle when I was like, I've seen this before. I'm not convinced, even though we've closed above. And I'm the guy who put so much precedence on candle body closes, right? But in that situation, because of this wick high over here, I was not convinced on that candle body close. I was like, you know what? I think we're going to be selling off, even though we had that weekly close, right? And this is a really good example of that situation, in fact, where you need to be aware of your candlestick analysis as well, which is why in the seed program, we start off with candlestick analysis and then move on to support and resistance. But candlestick analysis is your price action module, essentially. You need to put it all together, though, to understand price action. So right over here, in this situation, right, I would still mark out this horizontal as opposed to marking out this horizontal, which a lot of people may do, right? Which is completely fine, by the way. There's no one way to trade, right? There's no right way. It's all about your invalidation. But for me, I'll trade it this way. This horizontal being more important because these two guys validated my thesis that even though we closed above, we're going to see a sell-off, right? And we did see that. We saw the close off, we saw the sell-off. So I'm like, okay, this horizontal is more important. These guys, I'm going to pretend like they didn't even exist, right? And yeah,
that was a pretty neat call by Sean, because we were actually on opposite sides of this trade, eh? I was leaning bullish because of the fact that, well, we took it out in, we took out this $1.71 region on this candle body close. I'm like, you know what, this is actually looking pretty good. I was looking for continuation, but on the next candle, we actually lost that once again to the downside, and Sean sort of saw this coming. He's like, nope, not convinced, not convinced. So that was actually a pretty cool call. So as far as Matic is concerned, I think that, 68 cents was that region of support. We saw price get down there, and the bulls actually managed to pick it up from there. What I'll be looking for right now is for Matic to get up over this region, okay, for us to see continuation to the upside. Now, for those of you who have been watching, some of my videos, you guys know that I give a certain level of importance to the midpoints, right? On Matic's chart, the midpoint comes in at $1.15. Once again, guys, these are, Matic too, like many of the other altcoins, we're still stuck in those ranges. However, it's not a bad thing. Why? Because those ranges can be very, very profitable. Now, for example, from the 76-cent region to $1.15, that was a good 53% to the upside. That was not an ordinary trade. You can still trade the ranges and still be profitable, and significantly profitable at that too. So for the next range, what I will be looking for, if Matic has to make its way to the upside, I'll be looking for price to take out $1.15 once again. Okay, at which point I'll be looking for continuation all the way up to, well, the Tenkin coming in at $1.48, going all the way up to, of course, this horizontal at $1.71. All right, back to these highs right here. All right, now why am I looking at the Tenkin? Because notice how, right now, the general market conditions, we have yet to pick a side on the macro scale, right? The macro is still, it's still leaning more bearish than it's leaning bullish. Yes, Bitcoin is trending to the upside. Bitcoin is the market leader. But as far as Bitcoin has yet to make its high and set in and establish that uptrend, I won't be looking for many of these coins to really do something significant. So if there's a higher low that needs to be set in on Matic's chart, I will be looking for that Tenkin. That Tenkin is going to be my tip off on whether or not Matic is looking to set in a lower high, not a higher low, a lower high. So yeah, I'll be keeping my eyes peeled on the Tenkin as well as $1.71. That's the zone of resistance I'll be looking for. Okay, if we start getting rejected once again off of $1.15, I'm saying back down to 76 cents. Here we come.
No, that was really, really well said, Krisha. Essentially, all of you just need to look at the Tenkin, the key unit right over here, and use that as your bias. If you start closing weekly candles above there, then you can start looking for essentially putting in a bullish consolidation as opposed to putting in a bearish consolidation. Now, keep in mind that you could have a little bit of a hopium phase over here too. I don't want to say hopium phase or hopium formation, where even though we're putting in a low high on the Tenkin, right, we'd essentially be putting in a long-term bullish formation.
Yeah.
Right, and honestly, I do think that if we, this is a little bit on a tangent, but let's say Bitcoin does roll over from over here, right, and we do just end up breaking down and go all the way down to 20,000, 22,000, all coins are likely going to have a further dip as well. But I think the next low is going to be the pickup, at the very least, for the next run. So now we don't know though, right, if it's going to come.
It's going to be, I'll say this, it's going to be very, very interesting, Sean, because even like I'm looking at Matic's chart, right, and you know what, sometimes the alts actually tip us off on the overall trend, on the overarching trend as to where it all wants to go. There's a lot more liquidity on Bitcoin's chart than there is on the altcoins. If Matic really has to continue its trend, you know what? Even if we get past that pink line, I think things will start looking very interesting, because we'll essentially be taking out this high here, getting all the way up to the Tenkin.
Yeah.
Right? We could do something like this. I like the structure that you drew out, by the way. Welcome to the pattern world. So Tenkin, come back down to the 21, put in that next higher low.
I see.
Pick it up,
yeah,
right? Then you have a nice, beautiful structure there. You've essentially taken out this high right here, and I look at that as a pivot high, right, for the time being.
Yeah.
However, if we start getting rejected on the midpoint, that's telling us that, you know what, the bulls don't have the oomph that we're looking for. Right?
Not yet, at least.
Not yet.
But long term, I'm bullish on crypto. at let's look at the yields. Let's look at Dixie. Dixie is up right now. Oops, I kind of just...
I hate it when that happens. Yeah. I don't know why they have that there.
So, do you guys remember, again, a little bit of a tangent, guys, but I talked about this falling channel, right? So, essentially, this is the game plan, guys. You can essentially trade this, okay? And now if we break up, we know what to do, and we break down, we know what to do. I don't think we're breaking down, though. So we'll talk about this, though, in tomorrow's video.
Yes, sirree. Now, guys, this is all we have for you for today. And with this, trade safely, trade stress-free, trade the mango way, trade the easy way. Ciao.
Ciao, guys.